Used to be a dreamer, but you know I found.
Hi, this is Channing Humphrey with Semi-Pro Live, catching you up with a Monday special edition program. I just wanted to come on. This is going to be something that we're going to start up, bringing different elite athletes from all around the country from time to time. Now, this young man, I actually had the privilege of meeting him at the Arkansas Combine. It's going to be a yearly event that's going to be held in the great state of Arkansas. He's one of their homegrown products. This young man attends DeWitt High School, Greyson Riggins. Yep. I usually have a round of applause, but but how you doing, man? Doing well, man. I'm excited to catch up to you. You were one of the true standouts out the combine. Very athletic, very rangy athlete, good-looking quarterback. And you pretty much blew the different scouts and the different evaluators away at the combine. So we decided to have you on for our inaugural guest as far as athletes are concerned. And we just want to catch up to you and see how your career is going and talk to you a little bit more in depth. So we wanted to just get your background and talk about football a little bit. So we're going to start it off. We're primarily a youth football program, so we just want to get to know a little bit more about your youth football career. So where did you get started in the game, and what kind of sports did you play early?
Well, I started Pee Wee football in third grade, and I played Pee Wee up until sixth grade. I played football, baseball, and I started track in middle school. My seventh grade football team went undefeated. And I quit baseball around that time because I wanted to bring everything in and focus mainly on football. So,
yeah. Okay. So, was football your first love, or what was the first sport that got you actually involved in sports?
Well, baseball was my first sport, and then football just followed, and I played it because my friends played it. But as I got older, I fell more in love with it.
All right, well, what position do you play in baseball?
Baseball, I played outfield, catcher, first base, pitcher, and third base.
So similar to your football career.
Yes, sir.
All right. So in all the sports do you play, do you still take that athlete approach, or are you a multi-position athlete in everything that you play?
Yes, sir, pretty much.
So what attribute do you consider what do you think makes you better at doing that than some of the other athletes, and is it just that you have multiple interests, or do you just athletically excel and you just float to wherever your athleticism takes you?
I'm just able to play anything the coaches put me at.
Okay. So, man, as far as your football position, what position is going to be your primary focus as you continue your college career?
It'll probably be tight end, since I'm long and lanky and have long arms. I can catch a little bit, but I could use some work on it.
All right. I mean, you're just a freshman. Now, just to move a little bit forward, so, man, what kind of activities are you interested outside of just football?
I like running track. I come home and play music a little bit. I play guitar and piano.
Oh, okay. So when did you start that?
I started piano maybe 4 years ago. My grandpa taught me, and I just watched YouTube. Yes, sir.
Okay, so was that something that you guys did at home where he would play the piano? What made you approach him about teaching you?
Well, he lives in a different city, so whenever we went to visit him, he'd play a little bit, and I just asked him if he could teach me a song, and after he taught me that song, I just took off and learned a lot more.
All right. So what are some of your favorite pieces to play?
I can play this song by this Chinese guy. It's called River Flows in You, and I can play Fur Elise a little bit and Heart and Soul.
Okay. So you got some multi-talented. So what you doing on the guitar?
I'm not as good at guitar as piano. I just pick out stuff.
All right, man, because I'm the type of guest. I like to put people on the spot. Like, all right, man, whip out the guitar. I want to hear Hotel California, the end part. That's it. All right, man. So let's move forward, man. So what are your motivations?
Just seeing everybody succeed like they are now. It's crazy just to watch people all through college, and now that the draft's going on, just see them go from a student athlete to practically a millionaire in just a second.
Man. So if you were given that same opportunity, I mean, what would that mean to you, and what would that mean to your family?
I would mean everything. We come from a small town, so if something big like that happened, it would mean a lot to everybody.
All right, man. Well, tell me a little bit more about the town that you're from and your community. Where are you from, and tell us about the town.
I'm from DeWitt, Arkansas. It's a small town. There's not too much to do. It's just mainly revolved around sports. There's a few restaurants you can eat at, but not too many.
Shout out the restaurants, man. I'm semi-pro live. You guys might have a tournament. I've been to Aqua Dulce, Texas. So I might be anywhere. What's good to eat in town?
You got a Mecca. It's a Mexican restaurant. You got Subway. You have Kelly's. It's a restaurant on the square. And then you have a Chinese place on the square also. And you have Sonic.
Okay. The
Yes,
classics. Southeastern, United States classics. Can't go wrong without them. Now, just to move forward a little bit more, we got these huge trophies in the background, man. What are these trophies for, and how did you get them?
Well, unfortunately, the big ones are my dad's. He coached the Pee Wee team when I wasn't on it, and they won a Super Bowl twice.
When you wasn't on it?
Yeah, we never won a Super Bowl when he coached my team.
Was he older or younger when he was? Was it the generation before you or after you?
It was the one after me.
Oh, man. So you were the experiment phase, so you went messed up with you guys, and he came back with all the lessons he learned and won championships.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're a part of it in spirit, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Hey, a funny story. Shout out to my little brother. My little brother, he played for Arlington Optimist League, and I remember they went to the city championship like back-to-back years and lost. So the last time they lost, they're like, I think this is first year playing tackle. They're 6 years old. So a whole bunch of 6-year-olds. I'm a little bit older than them, and I had seen something on TV. So they're all crying in a huddle, and I walk up, and it's a big chunk of grass on the ground. I pick it up. I said, "You guys pick this up and you eat this." And they're all looking at me like, "What is he talking about? You eat this dirt, and that's what the taste of losing. And you remember this taste, so you never remember it again." So you got a whole bunch of 6-year-olds on the ground eating chunks of mud, crying. But they won the championship the next 3 years after that, though. So, eat a little dirt. Sometimes it's effective. So, hey, those L's will come back. Hopefully, we'll be interviewing you for Arkansas State Championship. Yes, but before we move forward, let's talk about those trophies that belong to you, because those still nice size.
Yes, sir. I have this one that I got from the camp that just recently happened.
All right, you were one of the award winners. Was that camp MVP, or what actually award did you take home?
It was top quarterback.
Top quarterback. So that's impressive for a freshman who's scheduled to be a tight end.
Yes,
so
sir.
you've impressed some scouts and some of the talent evaluators at the camp. Is that going to affect how you approach your high school career at all, or you still planning to keep it locked in on tight end?
I'm just gonna play wherever the coach puts me, and that's all I can do.
That's
I work
definitely
fast.
the right attitude to have.
Yes, sir.
Definitely the right attitude to have. All right. Well, before we go a little bit further, let's talk about your social media. Well, actually, this came from my producer, so I'm going to just save that for the end. But let's talk about your Arkansas Combine results. I'm going to hope Greg, we didn't get the results. So if you could post the Arkansas Combine results down in the comments for the audience at home to know the results for us. But let's talk about the Combine, man, and what the experience was like. So how'd you feel about the vibe of the whole experience, and was it enjoyable?
It was super enjoyable. I was around kids my age, and it just, the atmosphere was just good for succeeding. I mean, to be able to succeed with all of the kids that you have in your class just makes you feel a lot better about yourself.
All right, man. So how did you gauge the competition? Was it better than the competition you were accustomed to, or did it expose you to maybe a more diverse group of athletes?
It was better than the competition I'm used to, and in my conference, playing junior high, I was the biggest almost every single game, and I could push people around the way I wanted to. So having bigger, stronger, and faster athletes was definitely more competition.
Most definitely, most definitely. Hey, I don't know if you know anything about the DFW, but I live in a suburban city called Bedford in the middle of the DFW. And I have to take my son out to Southeast Dallas so he can get there at work, just because the little leagues in my area aren't as competitive. So,
Yes,
I got a huge son. I want to make sure that he's actually getting competition. So I take him out there. So I completely understand that. But
yes,
let's move a little bit further. Let's talk about your academics, man. So what are those grades looking like? The most all important question.
well, I have one B, and that's 89, and that is in algebra. Well, I take that back. It's a 91 right now. I got it up this week, but everything else is A's.
Straight A student. Okay, okay. So what's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is probably history, but I'm best at science.
All right, so that's funny. I was a history science guy too. And it was crazy. I wasn't as good in math, which doesn't make any sense if you like science.
Yes,
But
sir.
so tell me, what actually sparked your interest in science?
I just love learning about how our world works and just everything that's on our earth. And there's so much that hasn't been discovered yet that will be discovered.
Okay, so what's your favorite part of history? Favorite era, favorite war, favorite subject?
I kind of like World War II with all that stuff going on. That's what we've been on pretty much the whole year.
So you're a macro guy.
Yes, sir.
I always like World War II just because it's a big stage. There was so much going on and so many different individual things that were affecting other things around the globe at the same time. It was the first war that encompassed all of that together. And it was really the first war outside of the Civil War where modern weapons were used at a massive scale. So
Yes,
I completely understand. And the different uniforms.
yes, sir.
All right. So, what do you plan to major in college?
I plan to major in sports medicine so that if I don't make it all the way and go to the NFL, I can still help out with sports or be a sports trainer or be a coach.
Okay, man, that's actually a great game plan. You know
Yes, sir.
what's funny is I was getting towards the end of my playing days. I was playing a little semi-pro football. I played in college, and then after that, I was playing semi-pro football to stay in shape. And the actual concept of this company coming into being was that I wanted to have something to do once my body broke down where I couldn't like be out playing flag or tackle football anymore.
Yes, sir.
So this was a way for me to stay involved with the game without having to beat myself up.
Yes, sir.
So that's always a great plan to have, know what you're going to do after your time ends. So what colleges are you interested in?
I'm definitely interested in Arkansas.
Okay.
Ole Miss, Alabama's a long shot, but everybody loves Alabama.
Hey, it's not a long shot. I met a kid that was playing 7-on-7 flag. 2 weeks later, I was like, "Hey, man, you're not playing anymore?" He's like, "No, I committed to Alabama." I was like, "Okay." Shout out to Boykins. So, hey, you never know. It can happen like that.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Is that complete your list, man?
Clemson, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Mississippi State.
Okay, so you're a Big 12 SEC guy.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Makes me a little sad. I'm an old Buckeye. If they offer, he'll still go. Columbus, send him an offer. He doesn't have any offers yet, so it doesn't matter what was on his list. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. So, man, been a crazy year, but some traditions are starting to come back. So, we're gonna just talk about, man, how's being a teenager during this whole COVID time.
Well, I mean, when it first started and everybody was quarantined, you didn't get to go and hang out with your friends. You couldn't go out and eat. And it was just weird from going to seeing your friends every day and walking everywhere you wanted to not being able to do those types of things.
Man, so what are some of the things that you're looking forward to doing as this clears up?
I'm glad to be able to work with my team instead of having to work by myself at home and be able to interact with my coaches and go to gyms and stuff.
Okay. So
Yes,
what kind of things did you do to stay in shape during the COVID shutdown?
Well, I ran a whole lot, and I would just do simple things like push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups. And I have a set of 10-pound weights that I just make random exercise out of. So.
All right. So I see we have a picture on the side of you and some hunting gear with your father, I believe. So, man, tell us about do you enjoy hunting and fishing? You're an outdoors person?
Yes, sir, I can be.
Okay. What's your game?
Duck hunt, I deer hunt, I fish, and that about wraps it up.
All right. So how long you been hunting?
I've
And who
been
got you into it?
I've been hunting since I was about 5. My dad would bring me with him when he went, and I just kept on going with him.
All right, man. So what are some of the things that you, excuse me, what are the parts of hunting that you enjoy? What brings you back to the hunt?
I like being able to kill what I'm hunting for. I don't necessarily like going if I know I'm not going to kill anything. I know that defeats the whole purpose, but I don't go just to come back home with nothing in my hands. So.
And plus, you got to eat while you're out there.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I got it. My producer, she says a great place to go hunting is Anahuac, Texas. It's in Chambers County. You should look it up. Great fishing and wildlife place. It's a natural reserve. What is it? Anahuac National Park?
Anahuac Wildlife Refuge.
Anahuac Wildlife Refuge. It's right in southeast Texas. You guys should look up to it. It's a great place to go duck hunting, fishing, the whole 9 yards. And there's this little tiny town that my producer was born in called Hancomer.
Born in Channelview.
Nah, you're born in Hancomer, Texas. Don't change it. What is it? Hancomer, Texas till you die. but all right. But we're going to go ahead and move forward. She keeps handing me these notes. All right. So what aspects of hunting do you bring into football?
That's a really good question. I haven't really ever connected football and hunting before.
Oh, I mean, what about the focus?
Well, you have to be focused whenever you're trying to shoot a deer or shoot at a duck, just like you have to be focused when you're about to run a play and not to mess that play up.
All right, all right. I always try to make anything that an athlete does, see how they connect it back to the game. But we're gonna go ahead and move forward, man. So, how was your prom this year?
It was okay. Whenever we got there, there was a long line to sign in, and after we signed in, everybody was there for about 30 minutes, and the seniors decided they would pack up and go to a party. So it was about a
How?
group of 30 people. It was hot too.
Hey, at least you got to go with the seniors. We only had a senior prom, so they didn't let everybody go. You had to get invited.
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't get invited till junior year. I didn't have the beard yet. No. But all right, man. So another thing, man, you said it was all right. What did you have to compare a prom from? You had a prom before that? Young
Well,
player, you been getting invited since 7th grade?
in middle school, we had these things called spring flings, and it's pretty much the same thing as prom. But the atmosphere was a lot more lit because the teenagers couldn't just hop in their cars and go to a party, so they were
They
stuck.
had to stay there and make it fun.
Yeah.
All right, that's understandable. You giving tips to administration if they watching, they might want to collect car keys or something, making fun for the underclassmen. But all right, well, let's go ahead and we'll get towards the end of the interview. Let's go ahead and talk about your social media in case there's any coaches or any recruiters, anybody who'd like to invite you to any other combines and get a look at you. So, what's your Instagram, Twitter, and how can, well, let's just drop those at the bottom and you can take it away.
My Instagram is grayson.riggs, and my Twitter is grayson.riggins.
All right, man. Well, hey, this has been great having you on. And as you have more accomplishments, we definitely want to check in on you from time to time. We'll probably have you back after you
Yes,
get
sir.
your second season over with to get the results. And man, it's been a pleasure having you here. We'll see you guys next time on Semi Pro Live.
Used to be a dreamer, but you never found.